Hey, what's up, garden friends? How's everybody doing? Hope you're good. I am great, because I'm finally getting around to planting up my large cactus planters. So if you follow my vlogs, you may remember I picked 3 of these large bowls up not too long ago. It was a large one, a medium one, and a small one. I guess it was probably about a month or so ago. I have an entire area in my yard that I'm going to turn into kind of a cactus container desert plant. It's going to look cool. So this is part 1. I'm going to do this in like multiple pieces because each one's going to be fairly different, and I just would like for them to be kind of separated a little bit. So the first one, this is the big bowl, and in the big bowl, I'm going to be planting more hardy type cactus and succulents, of course. This bowl already has a couple big holes in the bottom. I'm still going to go ahead and put a layer of gravel down, get my potting mix in there, and start getting things going. So now that I've got my gravel in here, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with an all-purpose potting soil, and to that I'm adding a few cups of coarse grained sand, some perlite, as well as some slow-release fertilizer. I'm going to mix that up and get everything potted up in there. Oh, and I did end up adding a little bit of orchid bark in there too. I want to create air pockets so the soil drains really well. Okay, and the thing with these planters, since there's 3 different bowls, 3 different sizes, I think when I set these up, which will be a few videos from now, it'll be in the vlog actually, when I do that, I'm going to kind of overlap them a little bit. So I just need to make sure that I leave kind of an area right here for the medium-sized bowl to sit right here. I usually like to go from largest to smallest, so I'm starting with the Cholla. Now I'm just kind of playing around with things a little bit. I don't want to completely and totally overpack this thing, but I want it to be pretty full. This time of year, things aren't going to fill out too terribly much more. Anytime I'm working with cactus and succulents, I always like to have something in there, some kind of hardscape, something natural. It just adds a whole separate element to the planters that I really enjoy. However, when working with these natural hardscapey materials, I also like to kind of play around with things a little bit before I get them going. I think I have things laid out pretty much how I like them. This is a 6-pack over here, so I'll probably divide that up and move it around, but I want to keep it on the other sides of the rocks because it will eventually grow over. Will probably more than likely choke out the sempervivum. This is the cobweb head in chicks. A lot of different sempervivums to work with. I would prefer the Pacific blues, but I'm completely out of those, so cobweb it is. Okay, so now that that's done, I know it looks pretty messy, I'm going to go through and top dress this and kind of hose things off and tidy it up a little bit. It's really important. I always like to make sure I have a layer of gravel or something down in between my succulents and cactus and the soil. Just kind of helps keep them from getting wet. I forgot to hit record when I poured the gravel in. My bad. There we go. So now that I got my paper base in here, I'm just going to give this all a quick rinse and get that dust off of there. And everything's going to start to kind of shine up just a little bit. You can kind of see here how sharp that drainage is. Look how fast that moves through. Just about instantly. That's exactly what I want. Look what I found. Turns out I had one teeny tiny itty bitty little piece of the Pacific blue sempervivum left, so we'll go ahead and just kind of stick that down in there. Should take root on its own, and if it takes over and outcompetes the cobweb, I'm fine with that. Okay, and there it is. Sorry the hibiscus is kind of in the way. I had to move things around. A little bit of a different setup than usual. You'll be able to see it in its full glory in the next, like, 2 videos. Assuming everything goes as planned, that is. There is a slight chance I may end up pulling this opuntia out and putting it in its own planter with nothing but sempervivums around it, because eventually this opuntia and the Cholla over here, those are going to outcompete each other more than likely, but not this year. Still have some time until I have to worry about that. As I mentioned before, this in the back, that is in opuntia imbricata. I can't remember. It's a Cholla. Nice tree form, hardy cactus. I have another opuntia here, the name of which I cannot remember. Oh, I believe it's engelmannii. I think that's the variety, the spineless prickly pear. Over here, right next to the Cholla, this is a Euphorbia ascot rainbow. Hardy zone 6 through 9, I believe. They like a little bit more water than these cactus will, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on this and make sure that it works out okay. I think it'll be alright though. We haven't been getting much rain this year, so I'm not too terribly concerned. And then right underneath the ascot rainbow Euphorbia, and over here to the side of the opuntia behind this rose stone, I think is what that's called, those are the blue spruce sedums. And these are the ones I was talking about where I want there to be some kind of barrier there because they'll kind of they'll take over this entire bowl. It's just more of a vigorous growing succulent. Took me like 5 tries to say that, by the way. Got tongue-tied. Up here in the front with the low growers, that is a sempervivum cobweb. And then over here, just to the right of that, is a sempervivum. I believe the variety is called Pacific Blue. Okay, and then this very last cactus in here, this is the giant claret cup cactus. The variety is called White Sands. It's hardy through zone 5, full sun. That's going to be the same thing for everything in here. This is a clumping hardy cactus. Oh, and here we go. There's her name for you. That's professional, right? That works. So these get 12 to 18 inches tall. They form like a nice big clump, and they get scarlet flowers on them in June. I'm really happy with this cactus. This eventually will probably be the spotlight of this entire bowl, and I'll be moving the Cholla and the opuntia out of it. But that's going to be many, many, many years from now. But there it is, all done, quick, easy, nothing complicated, and fully hardy where I live. I'm in zone 6. I will still be protecting this in the winter, however. I'll probably just be draping a frost cloth over it. Just the main thing is that it needs to stay dry during the winter time. Very, very, very bone, super dry. I am a little bit disappointed with this paver base. I bought a different brand than normal. The other one I usually get has kind of a nice, like, assortment of different tones of grays and reds in it. So this is basically just pumice, which works, but I may be swapping it out with something a little bit more attractive. But it'll do for now. The problem with using paver-based stone as a top dresser is that you don't really know what it looks like until you rinse it off, and this doesn't look like anything special. Hey, but that's gonna do it for part 1. This is the hardy cactus planter. Hopefully in a couple videos, actually probably the next video after this, I'll be doing something with more tropical type cactus and succulents. I have a lot of echeverias that I'm going to be planting up. I'm really excited about that. And don't forget to check out the vlog that's going to be out a couple videos after this one, where I set everything up and get the whole entire container desert I don't know what I'm going to call it. It's a tongue twister, but basically I'm just putting all my cactus and succulents together, trying to make it look nice in pots. That's all that is. I hope everybody's doing well. I put all my social media down below, down there in the roots of the video. Go ahead and check that out. Follow me and I'll follow you back, and it's fun looking at each other's plant pictures. And comment down below while you're down there. I love talking to everybody. Don't forget to leave the video a thumbs up. It helps so incredibly much, and I really do appreciate every single one of those. Thank you very, very, very much. And subscribe as well. It's down there. I upload multiple times a week. Can you tell out of all the cool stuff I planted in here, the rainbow euphorbia is probably my favorite. Go figure. Never mind all the beautiful cactus. Not when this one's variegated with nice red stems. Alright, but as always everybody, most importantly, keep on growing. Bye-bye.